What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XLM stellar lumens today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. I want to keep this video brief, essentially giving you my price expectations for XLM over the next couple of weeks here. We've had a very phenomenal move up. Let's just put a line here right at the top. That's not right at the top. It's near the top. Let's get right at the top here. So definitely finding resistance at a previous area of resistance so far and a previous area to that before. So it wouldn't be crazy at all to assume that we might pull back from here. We've had a phenomenal move up. It was a lot faster than this one, and it was even faster, well, maybe about on pace, on par with this one. But even here, whenever we moved up basically in a straight line, we had a pullback here that was 44%. We had a pullback here that lasted 2 weeks. That was 50%, right? So even on this straight move up, we had pretty big drops down, let alone on this one where we were a little bit more shifty. 53% there, high to low, 52%, pretty big drops, right? High to low here, 48%, cool. I don't know. If we were to drop 50 to 60%, let's just say 40%, that would take us down to 38 cents. 50% would take us down to 31.6 cents, and a 60% drop would take us down to 25 cents. All of which, even the 60% drop, are above this high here, right? So I'm just saying, XLM from its current price can still drop like 45%. It really could, or more even, and still be fine. Still be fine. But something larger than that would be pretty uncharacteristic of the drops we've seen historically for XLM. Already, that's pretty uncharacteristic. I think we probably do see something closer to 50%. We might not even see a full 50% drop from here. It's very possible that we don't, but just something to be aware of, right? Especially with how fast this move up was, we really could see a phenomenal pullback, as it were. If we look at the weekly RSI, you're pretty overbought. Hit the 95s, almost a 96 on the overbought, on the RSI reading there. I bet we do pull back and we get out of the overbought zone. We probably pull back so hard. Hold on, guys. There we go. If we take a low, relative low to the high here, your first expected target would be the 236. It's very common to interact with this level. It's not very common to find support and then continue off of that. At least the 382 is what I would expect, and that's down at 28.3 cents. I could see that happening. I want to take a line. I want to put a line. Oops, not that. I want to put a line right there at the 382 and just go back in time and see if we can find significance on it. Something that might make sense for us to find support here, or at least areas around here. I'm trying to get that line right on there. I want it to be pretty accurate. There we go. So kind of found support here. A little bit of resistance there. Not too much significance. A little bit of support. A little bit of resistance there. A little bit of support there. Okay, a little bit more significance there. But beyond that, not too much significance. If we were to go a little bit below, and it is very common whenever you make a move from your low to your high, when you pull back to your 382, it's very common to go just a little bit below there. Let's see if there's anything that we can find that's significant just below this line, right? I mean, well, for starters, we have support down here. That is just below that line, resistance there. But that takes us so low, that even takes us below the 0.5. So maybe not quite that low. We did have a little bit of support right here. A little bit of resistance in that area. Resistance there, support, support. Okay, I like that little resistance there. I kind of like that. That does line up better with the 0.5. Okay. And maybe we could even fudge that up a little bit higher to get it, to come in line with these lows and that high there. I would think, all this to say that XLM probably sees prices below 28 cents. You're at 47 cents now. You probably see prices below 28 cents. I don't think you go below 22 cents, though you could. It's possible. But I think, something between 24.7 to 28.1 cents, 28.3 cents, I'm sorry. 28.3 to 24.7 cents is what I would expect for XLM over the coming weeks. I think that this move will take place. You'll find your low either by the end of this week or sometime next week. The end of this week, by the way, we just started this week, so the end of this week would be this Sunday here. So we would see a fast move down if it's by the end of this week. If it's not by the end of this week, maybe most of it comes in by the end of this week, and then next week in the early weeks we find our low. But I would expect before Christmas week we start moving back up again, right? Or maybe at least at the latest Christmas week we start moving back up again. I do expect, even with this pullback, that XLM will see new highs relative to this. If not by the end of December, then certainly by the end of January. So I think you're on your path higher overall. But you're just going to consolidate. You're going to consolidate a little bit. It's going to be fast. It's going to be violent. It's going to be a good opportunity to buy more. So don't miss out. If you've missed out on buying, here's another chance to get in. I don't really have anything else I want to say. 28.3 cents to 24.7 cents. That's where I think you're going. Daily RSI, overbought as hell. Looks like it needs to go down. Even if you were to respect these higher lows here, right? I'm just drawing a line. It'd probably actually be a little bit lower than that. You've got a lot of room to go down still. If we look at the weekly RSI, again, you are very, very overbought. You'd probably come out of that, right? Anytime, I wonder. We look back in time. I mean, you've only been this overbought like twice before, and both of those times, right here, pretty big pullback. Right here, pretty big pullback. Technically, you had two peaks here. This first peak only lasted 1 week, and it was at the end of your cycle. I don't think we're at the end of the cycle now, but even then, from a high to a low, in a week's time, you pulled back 44.8%. So, pretty big move. Pretty big move, right? I don't know if you're going to see something like this. The reality of the matter is, you guys, XLM could, and maybe not this dramatic, maybe not 88% overall, but it could consolidate for a long time before it moves back up. I'm thinking we move back up by the end of this month, like Christmas time. I think we do. And then by the end of December, if not by the end of January, we're at new all-time highs, or at least above this high itself. But even in the most bullish bull market that we've ever had in XLM's history, we've seen phases where it consolidates for like a quarter of a year or more. It can happen, especially after big moves up like this. So just saying, being this overbought, the last few times that it's happened, the smallest move down we saw was 44%. All right. We've only seen this happen once, twice, 3 times. This is our 4th time. And the smallest move we saw was 44%. We saw an 88% move, and then the other one kicked off a bear market. I don't think we're kicking off a bear market. I don't think we're getting an 88% pullback, and I don't think we're getting a 44% pullback, but something in between those. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Bright future for XLM. I think it's got new all-time highs in the bag. It looks like a beautiful ascending triangle, right? It's perfect. It's literally perfect. Whenever this cat gets out of the bag, man, it's going to, I don't know, go climb a tree or something. It's going to go really high. It's gonna get stuck up in a tree. Firemen are going to have to come get it down. 246, 846. You probably go at least above $4 is what I would think by the end of the cycle. So XLM, I think, definitely has 10x capabilities, especially when you factor in the potential drop that's coming our way, right? Yeah, I really like that 23 cent to 24 cent area, but time will tell. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, guys, that's it. Bye-bye.